Hey, what's going on guys, my name's Raf, and throughout the 21 years of the Pokemon anime, we have received a total of 21 movies. Each movie holds its interesting trivia, varying from original ideas to Easter eggs and much more. So for today's episode of PAT, Pokemon Anime Trivia, Entity decided it would be a great idea for me to host today's episode on all of the most interesting trivia surrounding the 20th movie, Pokemon I Choose You. It's also a perfect time to do this, seeing as its sequel, Pokemon The Power of Us, will have released in English cinemas when this video will be uploaded. Without further ado, let's jump straight into the list. Pokemon the movie I Choose You, released in theatres on the 15th of July 2017 for Japan and the 5th of November 2017 for a limited time in America. This being the first movie since 2011's Pokemon Black and White, Victini and Zekrom or Reshiram to be on the big screen in America. It was also a first in a very long time for other countries to see Pokemon on the big screen again, as they usually only aired the premiere on TV. The main reason why it was seen on the big screen again is simply because this movie was to celebrate 20 years of the Pokemon anime, with the anime debuting all the way back to the 1st of April 1997. This is also the reason why this movie got so much love in advertisements and even online from many news articles. Back on the 16th of November 2016, one of the sound directors for Pokemon, being Mima Masafumi, posted a tweet on Twitter that stated the following quote: "I'm trying many different challenges. I'll just introduce one thing. This photo mail is the front cover of the Pokemon Sun and Moon for this time. Yes, every time a screenshot that leaves an impression is decorated on the front cover. This is not a continuation of Pokemon X, Y and Z, but a completely new Satoshi and Pikachu, Ash Ketchum for any of the English viewers," end quote. 1 year later, when the second teaser trailer for Pokemon 20 became public online, it showcased us that the movie would follow the events of the very first episode from the Pokemon anime series, and months later in an interview for Yahoo Japan with the director of this movie, Kinkui Yayama, he stated the movie is a parallel world that is split from the original series. This being a what if scenario if the story took a completely different route because of the Ho-Oh feather Ash finds. So with all this information in mind, fan theories arose that this film could potentially be a prequel to the Sun and Moon anime, that being the brand new Ash Ketchum the sound director stated. However, Misty and Brock making a guest appearance in episodes 42 and 43 of the Pokemon Sun and Moon series, showing flashbacks of Ash wearing his original hat, more or less shot this theory downhill. Although it does at least confirm that the Ash in the movie 20 and its timeline is completely different to the current Ash and timeline we know so far in the Pokemon anime series. However, the one-shot manga for this movie indicates that it was a flashback that occurred after Ash won the final trial in Alola with Pikachu. However, there have been many other differences shown from other mangas compared to their other Pokemon movies, which actually don't play a role in the anime universe, so it's best to ignore this as canon. But it is quite fun to say the least. To finish off this point though, the sound director regarding this new Ash Ketchum for Sun and Moon just could simply be referring to the change of an art style or something else, and not an alternative timeline. Jumping into more rumours and theories, there was a rumour going around that this movie would contain a post-credit scene of Giovanni and Mewtwo, showing the Pokemon in its armoured suit from Pokemon the first movie. These rumours were later known to be false, and finally, there was a theory going around that Verity could be the daughter of Cynthia, seeing as this picture on Verity's phone is in the movie. Both characters do show a lot of similarities, however it was later confirmed by Yuiyama that this is false. As stated already in this video, the whole inspiration for this movie was to celebrate 20 years of the Pokemon anime, so naturally, many ideas got thrown around of what this movie's plot could be about. In that interview with the director Kinkui Yayama for Yahoo Japan, he stated the following quote: "Since Sun and Moon is currently airing on TV, we thought of doing a Sun and Moon movie, and we also thought of potentially doing a story where the entire all-star cast come together, one that would fit perfectly for the 20th anniversary. However, partially because each movie has a different unique style to it, and partially because they didn't have exactly what they wanted, we instead tried going back to the basics and thinking about what Pokemon really is. Pokemon started with Satoshi and Pikachu meeting each other, and now that it's been 20 years, there are people out there that aren't familiar with this origin. And that's why we decided to depict Satoshi and Pikachu's first meeting once again, from scratch. When Yuiyama mentioned all-star cast, this was meant to be exploring Misty, Brock, Tracy, May, Max, Dawn, Iris, Silent, Clement, Bonnie, Serena, Lily, Marlo, Kiawe, Sophocles and Lana all in one movie. However, we did get to see them in the ending credits. Going back to the interview, he stated the following regarding Ash's age. Time has not passed since the start of the journey. Ash is eternally 10 years old, and this could explain why Ash is still 10 years old in the main series. Yuiyama also went on to explain multiple other aspects regarding the movie and the anime itself. Firstly, he decided to make Ash more fashionable in the movie compared to the original series, with the help of Ken Sugimori, the lead illustrator of Pokemon. Secondly, the number of Spearow chasing Ash and Pikachu increased 20-fold compared to the original series, this totaling to 1000 Spearow in the movie. Also, the scene showing Ash having a dream about him being in a regular classroom without any Pokemon was taken from a concept from Pokemon The Rise of Darkrai, where Ash, under the influence of Dark Void, had a nightmare about Pokemon not existing. And finally, in this interview, Yuiyama mentioned Pikachu was chosen as Ash's starter Pokemon for the anime as a whole, instead of the 3 other starters, because as stated, for the sake of the kids who are playing the red, blue and green games, for instance, if Bulbasaur was the main star, what about the young children who picked up Squirtle? It's cute, Thunderbolt looks strong, plus it's a bit more remarkable than the other ideas game developers had suggested to him. Because the movie celebrates 20 years of the Pokemon anime, you can find various Easter eggs in the movie relating to the main series, such as the crossroad where Ash says goodbye to his companions in this movie, in the exact same crossroad where he departed away from Misty and Brock in the original series to travel to Hoenn, and after Ash's death, his hat briefly falls on Pikachu's head, which is a reference to the Ash Cat Pikachu later on released in Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Entity has 2 videos dedicated to all of these Easter eggs in this movie, and even differences compared to the main series, so be sure to go check them out as well after this video. This movie features many firsts for the Pokemon movies, such as the movie marks the first time the anime has shown a dead Pokemon, being Luxray, which wasn't later revived in some form. As of this movie, all of the legendary and mythical Pokemon from Generation 2 have had a starring role in the Pokemon movies. This is the first movie to feature a Pokemon release, with Ash releasing his Butterfree after saving the pink Butterfree. This is also the first time Pikachu has actually talked without subtitles. It is also the first movie to be in 4K, specifically Sony Pictures 4K quality, due to the fact it was shown in theatres in the USA. And finally, in the review department for this movie holds a score of 43 on the review website Rotten Tomatoes. Despite the score being considered rotten, it is still the highest rated Pokemon movie on the site. The previous record holder was Pokemon Spell of the Unknown Entei, which holds a score of 22%. There are also returning features, such as the Professor Oak's first appearance in the movie since the 4th movie, and Delia's first movie appearance since the cameo in the credits of the 11th movie. Delia's previous speaking movie appearance was in the 3rd movie. This is also Gary's first physical appearance since the battle finale of Legend, over 7 years ago, although the appearance is only in the form of a brief flashback. And finally, this is the 4th movie in which Ash temporarily dies. In English theatres, this movie was preceded by Pokemon Generation episodes and a music video for this movie's version of the Pokemon theme, utilising clips from most of the Pokemon movies. However, movies 4 through to 7 were skipped, presumably because they were owned by Miramax.
And that ends off the movie 20 trivia. Huge thanks to the PokeRaff for coming on to host today's episode of Pat. If you enjoyed this video, then be sure to consider leaving a like, a subscribe and a share for future Pokemon content. It helps out a ton. And if you enjoy listening to him, be sure to head over to his channel where he makes all sorts of Pokemon related content. For now though, we shall see you later. Thank you for watching.